Now we're going to talk about dropping variables versus deleting observations. I have a data set here that has 3 variables, x, y, and z, and then one observation that has a missing value for y. Let's see what we can do about deleting that particular observation in a minute. First, though, we want to print the data to double check and make sure everything's okay. Okay, so there's the data set. We've got 5 observations, 3 variables. Now we can use the set statement to bring this old data set into this new data set. So now we have 2 data sets, one called 1 and then another data set called dropping. At this point in the program, they're exactly the same. Then this part is a comment, so SAS doesn't read that in, and we're going to keep y and z. So when I run this part, data dropping, let's go ahead and print it out and see what it looks like. I kept variables y and z, and I left out that x for this data set. Now it's the same thing as dropping x instead of keeping y and z. If I run this, I get exactly the same thing. So the only advantage to having these 2 separate statements would be for some sort of large data set in which you had 30 variables, say. If you only want to drop 1 or 2 variables, you would use a drop statement. But if there are only 1 or 2 variables of interest to you, you would probably want to use a keep statement. The next thing we want to do is compare and contrast this drop statement with this delete statement. If we run this delete statement, what it does is it deletes one of our observations. So I'm using this if-then to say if y is blank, in other words, if this is a missing observation here, then I'm going to delete that observation. So when I run this, now I only have 4 observations, and you can see that 4th observation that was in the original data set, 8 was x and 9 was z.